Hello, welcome, current exposure. Good evening. We have Mr. Tillman tonight. Um, we're going to be talking to him about the special election in the Central Ward. This is part two of our candidate series. So, without letting you wait any longer, I'd like to bring on George Tillman Jr. Welcome.
Good evening, sis.
How are you?
Blessed. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
So, what is your understanding of why this special election is happening in the Central Ward?
So, Congressman, rest in peace, Congressman Donald Payne. He passed away, and there was a vacant seat in Congress, and there was
Okay.
a special election for his seat, and LaMonica McIver, she won the congressional seat, and our Central Ward seat became vacant, and we should have had a special election um, almost a year ago, but there was,
Okay.
you know, all kinds of things with the administration, and here we are today.
Wow. Wow. So what I know I've been watching and I've been seeing different candidates do different things, and for you, I noticed you coming to the city council meetings. I watch at home because I'm working on my whole being banned issue. But anyway, so I saw you stand up and speak up about what was happening with the seniors. I believe that was the senior building in the Central Ward on South Orange Avenue, right? It's like on that corner.
That's one.
And I'm sorry, what was it? Your phone cut out.
That's 140 South Orange Avenue.
Okay, okay. And how many units are in there?
There's approximately about 200 units.
Wow. Wow. So it's over 200 seniors in that building?
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. So do you want to tell us about what, well, aside from the seniors, yeah, that's when I seen you speak up for them. You were like advocating for them because I remember initially they were coming to the city council meeting to ask for assistance regarding conditions with the elevators not working, um an infestation of rodents, and I think there were bed bugs too. I'm not sure about that one, but um and nobody was listening to them. Then when you came, people started to take those seniors seriously.
So, there was a reason why. And the reason why they started taking those seniors serious was that $80 million project. So, what was going on prior to that, I was meeting with the New Community Senior Tenant Association from Building 140. We
Okay.
had been meeting for about 5 months prior to them coming to speak. What we were first initially working on was those that pull cord issue. The pull cord has been an issue at New Community for the last 6 years because they've not been functioning, and
Okay.
many seniors have died. When I tell you that New Community is culpable for all those deaths for the last six
Wow.
attributed to those pull cords. There's a sister who comes to speak sometimes. Her name is Darnella Lee or Dee Dee Lee. She comes down and she speaks.
Right.
he has a current lawsuit over uh,
Wow.
with the seniors over in her building associated with the same thing with those pull cords. So this is not a new issue in the senior buildings. This is happening all across these buildings.
Now, the pull cords are those related to the elevator or
It's like in a hospital when you're in a room and
uh-huh.
ambulatory and you can't move and you're unstable, you can pull a cord in
Oh.
emergency response.
Oh, I didn't know they had that in senior buildings. Wow. So that's not even
Why?
functioning.
That's required in all senior buildings.
Wow. So who is overseeing that?
So because it's a private entity, is supposed to be overseen by HUD because HUD is funding a lot of the subsidies that's going on in the facility, and
Okay.
that's a that's a very there's so that's where our fight was going to initially go with HUD. So
Okay.
what happened was I'm a part of the tax abatement committee that the council has. I'm the community
Okay.
representative. So anytime there's a tax abatement committee meeting, I'm the representative for the community that advocates for the tax abatements. So prior
Wow.
um, prior to one of our meetings, that tax abatement came across an email to me back in May. So when I went back and I met with the seniors, I explained to them the power that they had now because there was an $80 million development that was coming before the council and the tax abatement committee for approval. And before it can be approved, there also is input from the community or the residents that's associated with that developer or that entity. What has happened is that if you've heard me talk about this Affirmative Action Review Council,
Mm-hmm.
for the last 2 years, this is going back to Councilwoman LaMonica McIver.
Okay.
Uh, my issue in my advocacy has been getting the enforcement of the Newark resident employment policy. And that has to do with the hiring of Newarkers on all construction projects and all post construction developments. They're the first source of hiring. There's all in an agreement. That's been an agreement in our system since 2002.
Okay.
There are certain components that work in that agreement to fulfill the obligation. One,
Okay.
one is the city of Newark,
Mm-hmm.
the other is the developer, and
Okay.
the other is the entity involved in the supplying of the workforce. In this case, it was given to Newark Works
Okay.
under the legislation, under the law. All of this is law.
Okay.
Under the law, anytime these developers, you hear me talk about the economic incentives, it's not just tax abatements.
Okay.
This Newark resident employment policy is attached to all economic incentives, which entails uh, loans, grants and loans,
Okay.
tax abatements, contracts and services, and the last one I had it here, land sales.
Okay.
So anytime you see any of those incentives given out, they're given
Mm-hmm.
out attachment, the Newark resident employment policy, which means that one, first source was a legislation that was introduced in 2000 that Newark would be the first source of hiring. It's called the first source.
Okay.
Then in 2002,
Okay.
the Newark resident employment policy was introduced to attach to it to empower it more and give it more strength. Now, when they got these economic incentives in the construction part of it,
Mm-hmm.
50% of Newark residents are supposed to occupy um, the total amount, the half of the total amount of the construction development.
Okay.
That development is $100 million. That means that $50 million is supposed to be Newark residents.
Okay. So who oversees that?
So I'm going to get to that.
And the other thing is, what if those Norkers aren't available? Can they go outside of that or say, oh, we couldn't find the men and women, so we had to get them from Jersey City or somewhere?
So I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
So when it comes to the selection of the residents, and you hear me talk about Newark Works under the
Uh-huh.
legislation, all of to Newark Works. Newark Works for the last 10 years under this legislation in 2015 was responsible for
Okay.
supplying all the workforce for all of the construction developments.
Okay.
So that was their obligation.
All right.
Early in the year, you heard me do a Oprah request for all of the residents and all of the people
Yes.
out, and there was no record found for the last 10 years.
Wow. So that means they haven't been hiring Newark residents.
Haven't been recruiting, they haven't been training, getting them ready for those jobs. As you heard me go back and forth for 2 years with Deputy Mayor Rahman Mohammed.
Right.
Keeps saying that it's going to take them 5 to 10 years to develop a workforce. And he's absolutely correct. The
Wow.
only problem is that that's what they're supposed to have been doing from day one in 2015.
Right.
So
Right.
we're in 2025, 10 years later. You can't say that now we want 10 more years to develop this workforce only
It's
because
been 10 years.
brought it to the light that they wasn't doing it.
And he bragged about they were going to have what, 2020 jobs in 2020.
Yes.
And it's like nothing, no advancement with that Newark Works in developing the young people. And I see the young people all day, every day at going in and out of the welfare office. So
Let
that's
me
crazy to me.
let me say this because at the debate at NAACP, when I asked them to fact check Amina Bay, Amina Bay was the executive director for Newark Works for 4 years
Wow.
and was responsible for 4 years, and she did not have any employment, any records. They could not, like I said, nothing. Then she comes on stage and said that she created 2,000 new jobs and she helped decrease the unemployment rate in Newark. I'm sorry, that is not true.
Wow. I didn't know that was said. I invited her too, so hopefully she'll respond
She's
and
not.
come on.
She's not.
But say that again.
Not coming
Why not?
because the community is going to ask her a whole bunch of questions on your show, and she's going to have to answer them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
Wow. That's
a
deep. I didn't know. Wow. So,
lot of people don't know. So that's what my whole campaign was, edifying them, giving them the understanding of what's going on in our government. So now let's get to the part where you're talking about the overseeing of it. So when you
yes.
hear me talk about the Affirmative Action Review Council,
Uh-huh.
that was a component that's supposed to have been implementing the Newark Resident Employment Policy, making sure that it's done,
Uh-huh.
enforcing it, and monitoring it. However,
Wow.
there's one problem.
What is it?
They wasn't doing it for 10 years. So you hear
So
after
they
all,
never did it.
so hold on. For after 2 years, them denying said that it didn't exist, they had compliance. They finally come up to the microphone, that Deputy Mayor Rahman Muhammad, they just appointed him chairman of this Affirmative Action Review Council last month. Now they're in the process. You hear me keep asking them to have a special conference because I'm asking for the special conference so we can understand the process of the selection of the people that's going to be on that board. I also,
Wow.
a moratorium, we had a moratorium where they stopped all the new applications on the tax abatements. It was stopped. However, Team Baraka, Pack Council, and Councilwoman Roundtree and Councilman Crump, they all went forth with the moratorium because Councilman Gonzalez, if you go back, 'cause I posted it several times, go on my page.
Okay.
He he boycotted it. First he goes back. At first he went back to Councilman Silver. He was the first one to boycott the Affirmative Action Review Council because he was on a committee. And when I brought light to it,
Uh-huh.
he had to speak on it because they wasn't meeting.
Wow.
The council person that's assigned on that board on paper.
Oh. Just on paper, but they're not physically meeting like they should have.
Absolutely,
Wow.
absolutely not. So when I requested
Hmm.
minutes, even the council requested minutes and they still haven't sent any minutes. There are no minutes. They're not meeting. So this council, so we okay, so getting to the seniors. When the tax abatement cross,
Uh-huh.
we met and I talked to them about how I needed them to come to now all these things that's going on in these buildings. We need to come to the tax abatement committee,
Okay.
give those things. And when they did, all that stuff, it's all been documented. It's all on my
Right.
they're sitting in there. So they heard them. They they granted them the tax abatement.
Uh-huh.
They moved it to the council. So that's why you see it's at the municipal council now.
Okay.
However, they gave them a requirement that they abate all of the buildings, all of the pool courts, and everything. That's why you see now they all that action. That's when they
Okay.
got
Yeah,
in.
they started running over there, taking care of the seniors. And I'm like, this guy must be Superman.
Now it's the $80 million. It's the $80 million.
Wow.
So
Wow.
understanding how the government. So let me give you a little bit about me.
Okay.
First, I used to work in the mayor's office of affirmative action.
Okay.
I was a senior program analyst, and what I was responsible for was looking at all of our affirmative action programs, our law
Mm-hmm.
legislation, and seeing if they were all working systemically, and give a report
Mm-hmm.
to my boss, Deputy Mayor Rahman Muhammad, and give it to the administration
Wow.
so that the administration would correct those things.
Okay.
So they didn't like my recommendations.
Why not?
It's a total shutdown of the system.
Oh.
But when you hear me talking about my campaign of stopping all these tax abatements, there's a reason why. Because there is no uh no benefit going to the residents right now, and there's no way to
Right.
get residents, and they have no plan. That's why I keep asking for a special conference. For the last 10 years, what's the retribution? There's
Right.
some
See,
retribution. for the
I
last years. And mind you, Newark Works
okay.
is a separate agency of our government.
Okay.
It's not a part of Newark. They're,
It's not.
it's not a part of Newark.
So is it like Newark Housing Authority?
No. So
Where is it it's
the
it's
next time an RFP come up for an agency to perform those duties,
uh-huh.
anyone can respond to that RFP. I'll find out
Wow.
when their contract is due up, and a RFP goes out, and you can go and just like Newark, Invest Newark is a separate agency the same way.
Right. Okay. So all right, I see what I understand now.
Okay,
Wow.
so now
But
I'm
doesn't the mayor appoint people?
listen. Let me show you the corruption.
Okay.
When you hear me talk about them, Rahman Muhammad said he's taking in penalties, contributions, and fees, and all that money that's coming in, millions of dollars.
Wow.
It doesn't go into our city revenue or budget. It goes to Newark Works.
Wow. And
And
they're
no one oversees that money. The council don't
wow.
know it spends. The deputy mayor has all full carte blanche with spending that money. They've been buying buses.
Wow.
They bought a
Blank
300.
checks.
So I'm trying to. It,
They're doing this in plain sight.
yes.
That's crazy. So are they still in at Invest North too? Or did they cut that out after those that
I'm
guy Carmelo Garcia got caught?
I'm gonna stick to the business because that's a whole that's a
Oh,
whole
okay.
that's a whole listen. So when I talk about a war on poverty, right?
Uh-huh.
The biggest factor of poverty is corruption.
Mm, that keeps the poverty going. Wow. You blew my mind, and you mentioned something about tax abatements. So you would be the person that would put a stop to all of these tax abatements, because I think
I'm
we're
them
tax
already. I'm
abatement.
already. We stopped them already. When they came
Okay.
back, when them residents came back there the other day, they stopped it. They deferred it. I went up there. I
Wow.
live at 225 because I've been telling them all along. You need to deal. It wasn't just about the senior buildings. It started with the
Right.
senior. Once that tax abatement came, it included the whole residents. Anybody had anything to do with new community homes development can come in and give a complaint
Wow.
about buildings. And the mayor kept saying they was going up there, and Councilman Crump and Roundtree and council said they was addressing everyone, and they weren't. They didn't. They just kept dealing with the senior buildings. And each time
Wow.
go to 225, let's go to 72, let's go to the townhouses. They took me out of the whole process. They banned me from all the meetings.
Wow. And now, did that inspire you to run, or were
Uh,
you
uh, nah. What this corruption, the corruption,
okay?
corruption.
Okay. And somebody,
I understand.
well,
I understand how that corruption is affecting the resources going into our community.
okay. All right. And good evening to Will Hathaway. He said, what are your goals for the Central Ward if elected?
The first thing is to get people working, to get
Okay.
economics in people's pockets, to get
Okay.
in some sort of relief, and it's there because I'm when I tell you I sit there, when I sat there at the desk, our
Mm-hmm.
is community is losing over 5,000 jobs a year because of
Since
just because of construction,
wow.
and then another 10,000 of better jobs after the post construction because those are all our jobs, and this has been going on. See,
Mm,
this is how it happens when they do these developments, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we get in the pre-construction is what's called a manpower utilization form.
Okay.
And before the construction development is even done, we know how many people are going to be on that job site.
Okay.
Most of these developments that you see going up have anywhere from 300 to 500 jobs.
Okay.
So that means that half of them should be in our community. We're
Wow.
not getting 1%,
Not even 1%?
not 1%.
That's bad. That's bad.
Look at it monetary. I'm gonna look at it monetarily. Um, I'm pushing hard because we got this one in the Central Ward that they unstarted. It started the UMDMJ. That's an 8-year, $2.8 billion development.
Wow.
3 phases.
Wow.
So
Wow.
1.4 billion over the next 8 years to be coming to Newark.
Mm.
That's the start. And not just there, all the other developments. I'm shutting them down, stopping them until they hire Newark residents. I'm pulling every tax abatement until they come into compliance. I'm going to file a federal lawsuit against the city of Newark for what they've done for the last 10 years.
With the North Works not keeping the records and hiring Norkers?
From violation of our Newark resident employment policy, they oversaw this whole operation. They
Uh-huh.
all were involved in it,
Okay.
and they all know about it. And I'm gonna tell you
Wow.
that legislation is it's a key component because it's not just the construction. Like I said, it's the land sales, it's the grants and loans. Somebody go get $100,000 loan from the city. They got to hire some Newark residents to be a
Okay.
whatever they're doing with that grants.
So when Shaquille O'Neal got the grant from Newark to finish the first building, they were supposed to hire Newark residents.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Now I see what.
People,
Wow.
I don't now that's one
Because I didn't understand how he was allowed to get money. I didn't even know there was such an opportunity for a developer to go to a municipality and borrow money to finish their projects.
yes. So um the biggest I don't know how old you are, uh, but do you remember the Prudential Center
Yes.
building it when
Yeah.
our council and I went
Uh-huh.
who's all on that municipal council, they gave Prudential 210 million of taxpayer dollars, and Newark residents wasn't even hired.
Really?
Do your research.
Wow. I didn't know they didn't hire not one Newark resident. How are they able to get away with that and the city does nothing? We have like 9 city council, well, 8 council members and a mayor. How is that allowed? How is this allowed? Like, if you know and you're not on city council, now I know, everyone who's listening and watching knows we can't do anything about it, but they're in a position to do something about it. So why aren't they?
Now you know why it's so important to vote me in there.
Okay.
It's very important.
Wow.
Very important.
Wow.
You see me in that council, you're going to see everything
Mhm.
that council members have not been doing.
Yeah.
They have the ability to shut down in every ward. You hear me talk to Pat Council all the time. Why you not shutting it down? Why you're not
Right.
shutting developments in your own ward and making sure the people in your ward are getting? Because I'm gonna do it in the Central Ward. I said it, and I'm gonna do it. They already know I'm gonna do it because I'm doing it right now. They just
Wow.
they just they're in jeopardy. They got one more shot at this, that $80 million, and they're not gonna get it. And we're going to make sure now that the community, I want the community to come out next time they come up again with that. There's a woman,
Mm-hmm.
when I went up there and did that live, there's a young woman that came in that live for 225, and she
Mm-hmm.
small children, both autistic, living in there with rats. She showed me a photo of a hole about that big and the rat looking out of it
Wow.
with them kids in there.
Wow.
They got an elevator up there that hasn't been working in 225 for a whole year. There's a gentleman
Wow.
in a wheelchair that they carry up and down the stairs every day.
Oh my gosh. How can they like that's a lot. And why isn't he moved to a ground floor apartment since he's in a wheelchair too?
New community do not care about our residents.
Oh my gosh. This is crazy. I didn't know all that was going on. It's just as bad as what was going on at Georgia King Village with L&M.
See, but
So,
the difference was, and they they took them to court over that tax abatement. I don't know you remember they was battling, you know,
right.
but the problem is that they didn't stop their money.
They didn't because
Gave them the New
they
Jersey pack.
they went right back to doing what they were doing before. Residents are still suffering to this day.
Right. And that's the mayor administration. Our representation is important.
Mm.
This election is important. And I heard you last week, and you spoke with brother Youngblood, and I love that young brother.
Yeah, you guys are interesting. I'm like, finally, because it's been mainly women at the city council meetings. I mean, you have men who come and do whatever they can, but they're not as consistent. You guys have been the most consistent right now in challenging the administration in terms of their lack of accountability, and just chilling because they're collecting a paycheck.
They're doing more than that.
Oh, wow. They're involved in the corruption.
So I don't have
Oh
to.
God, because you were on the inside with them.
So yes, and the only reason why I resigned, I battled cancer. I left City Hall
Oh.
22 because I was so sick I couldn't even, as much as I wanted to stay there and fight them. I
Mm-hmm.
sit at the desk more. I couldn't even sit at the desk anymore. I was, so I went from about 250 pounds to 150 pounds in
Wow.
3 months.
In 3 months?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. It
Wow.
was a nice little battle. But God,
Wow. So you battled cancer for those 3 months and then
I battled cancer I'm in remission now for
okay.
battled cancer for about 3 years. It was I was in and out of the hospital. I had several surgeries. It was tough. I, I didn't believe I was going to make it.
Wow. I'm glad you're here.
Grace and glory of God, I'm here. But I tell you, I didn't think I was going to make it. But
Wow. So and now the seniors came to you.
hmm,
You helped them out, you saved them, and now other people are like,
I
we need
told
you too.
shutting it down. We're gonna shut down the Central Ward. We're gonna take care of the tax abatements over there in Society Hill. We're gonna deal with them. Hyde Park Garden. We're gonna deal with the homeowner. We're gonna do the amnesty programs. Everything like all that money that I told you that Newark Works been getting over there. That's money can
Yes.
go to the relief program for the seniors, for homeowners. That money can be designated. You understand?
Wow.
Not-
Yeah. Okay.
And and the penalties are, you know, they're randomly set by the deputy mayor, and they're doing them at their behest. And when you
Mm.
up there, and I asked for a special conference, all the people that's watching and viewing, call
Mm-hmm.
President Larry Kump and tell him that you want a special hearing to address this issue.
All
No matter
right.
who's elected up there. Because I asked them to stop all these tax abatements until one of us was elected, because it's our ward and we are representing there's no one up there that was chosen to represent the Central Ward. Not one of them. And none of them are showing the interest of anyone up
Wow.
in Central Ward. And when I tell them about the deaths up there, and Councilwoman Roundtree's talking about, well, when we heard about it in May, we immediately addressed it, but you knew about it for the last 6 years. You didn't immediately address it for the last 6 years. And I would
Fact.
wish any of their mothers to be in there, or any
Right.
who have died in there, but they don't seem compassionate enough for me to those deaths. And that's why I'm going so hard with them. They
Mm.
they praise these people after they went up there and didn't fix everything, because I had to come back with some more residents to show that it's still up there living with rats.
Wow.
But this is Tim Baraka. This is just to secure the money. They sent $3.5 million up there before it even was approved. But I said it ain't nothing, because we still stopping it. Because now the people are aware. If they allow any developer to get
Mm-hmm.
$80 million, and understand this $80 million is
Right.
funded by the state. A lot of hands are in that.
Wow. So
A lot of,
everybody's trying to get their piece.
yes. Now
All
listen,
right.
$80 million, 4 stories. That's $20 million a story. Where
Okay.
any development, Shaq's building was 75 million, 55 floors. How you go
Wow.
5 floors for 75 million to 4 floors for 80 million? Where's that money going?
Right.
If you don't
Wow.
have construction, it ain't gonna make no sense to you. But they gotta tear up that whole pipeline, because it's underground parking supposed to come in there. When I tell you it's about to do those residents dirty, they had an underground parking lot in there,
Mm-hmm.
all this kind of like a real nice restaurant, workout spa, all this kind of stuff, community rooms, all this stuff in there, high scale, that those
Mm-hmm.
outside of that building would not have access to, and it was going to be a gated community.
Wow. Somebody has a question.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Melissa Effort says, do you feel like you all are going to split the votes and possibly let Raz person get in office because of the split votes?
So going back to my point when you was talking to Brother Youngblood, he talked about the 26th election, and he talked about he wanted to encourage a lot of
Right.
people. That's
Right.
They'll never win that way. It all has
Right.
to do with grassroots organizing. We have to come when this campaign is over. We have to look at and see everything, because it's right back. It's not over.
Right.
The election's in May.
Right.
So whomever get there gotta get busy. If you ain't ready to get busy in day one, just sit back and just watch. And
Right.
Young already told Youngblood is gonna be a part of my staff. I love that brother. He just
Okay.
booming. He needs someone. He needs to be taught these sort of things about government. So the thing about
Okay.
our generation is not mentoring these youth, these young
I
politicians.
like that mentoring. I like that.
They're not. I was mentored. I'm 62 years old.
Uh-huh. Oh
I,
wow, you look great.
to God be the glory.
And you was fighting cancer. Wow. Oh man.
I've been doing this since I was 5 years old. I'm a political kid.
Okay.
Spit out doing this from 1967
Uh-huh.
to 2025. I've been involved in politics. I've seen these.
Wow.
I've seen these people. I've seen them as children. I used
Mm.
to go to Mildred Crump's house, and she used to feed me fish and grits on Saturdays when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
I have so much history with all of these politicians because I was a kid. My father was. They never talk about my father. My father, Saidi and Guru, he was a monster guru in these politics.
Wow.
I tell you, do you remember Treffinger? Who was a county?
Yes. Yes. He went, did he go to jail?
Yes, he did. He went to jail.
Yeah. When he went to the county and stole that money.
So I bring him up because my father was the Central Ward District Democratic chairman back, when he was alive, and him, Carl Sharif, Oscar James Sr.,
Okay.
uh, all of them. My father was Amiri's Baraka's one of his bodyguards back
Oh,
in
wow.
Committee for Unified Newark. I'm a product of Committee for Unified Newark. When I talk about them Baraka, them my brothers.
Okay.
Mother used to babysit me in 808 South 10th Street in their basement.
Oh, wow.
I was
Okay.
I was sitting in the basement, like we all in the baby in daycare, Obalaji, we kids. So them my brothers. What they become don't make them not my brothers.
Okay.
Some people want me to like they say, oh, I'm too friend. Them my brothers. If I fight my brother, that's still my brother at the end of the day.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's not personal. We were brought up on the same principles. Constructive
Okay.
criticism. So when your brother brings you constructive criticism, it's to make you better. What I'm doing,
Okay.
my brother's better. I'm looking to make
Okay.
better. I'm ready to make the council better. So you see all the change that's happening. I'm making
Right.
them better by the advocates
Okay.
make them better. That's why it's important that our voices, those advocates, you see how they're doing more of the silences and discredit
Yes.
anything but advocates. Loud mouths, they call us this, troublemaker,
Yeah. Yeah.
everything. It's to kill a narrative. But New York has an elected advocate. And if anytime the mayor is removed, you know who becomes in charge in New York City?
Who?
Public advocate.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we don't have that in Newark, the council president. So Larry Crump.
So important. And that's why I like Brother Jamar. He's coming up. I came up when I was coming up, I heard the Frank Hertz, William Cornegay, if anyone knows who he is. He was the affirmative action guru back in the day. I was
Okay.
he groomed me. He taught me the affirmative action.
Oh, wow.
It used to be me and him going to the construction sites. I got the sign, he got the bullhorn.
Wow. Oh, man.
So I'm old school. So anytime you see me in them chambers with them signs, I'm old school. That's why I was taught that.
Yeah, I like the old school way though.
School. That's old school.
Get your message across.
Yes. It's all the messaging. It
Mm-hmm.
took a while. When I first came on that mic, people didn't understand these tax abatements. It was like I was talking a whole different language, and I kept trying to get a better way to try to get people to understand what I'm saying because
Right.
they only kept giving me 3 minutes. Then they kept coming up discrediting me. Then I had to come back and show them that I don't have to keep coming back with the legislation. You can't.
Right.
You're not gonna go against what you wrote. And so now we're back to the point 10 years later where they're talking about we're gonna do it. But what's the compensation for the residents for the last 10 years? Because them developers done ate lovely.
Right. Now, How were the developers able to do so much eating on
The man,
their watch?
that's the ones that enabled them.
The
So
developers
don't be
enabled them?
developers. Don't be mad at them. How you gonna be mad at somebody and they ain't from here? If somebody letting you come here and just take it out of your and
You're
they
right.
so that's why when you hear me talk about them, I said it's our government. That's why I say it's our government out of compliance. I want the people to understand our government needs systemic reform and change, and how it needs it, so that we get
Okay.
right away. We can't. I don't. You know, like I said, I love Brother Youngblood, but we need someone that's going to fight right now and do the fighting. I I ain't seen none of these people except for the last 2 years up in that chamber with me, but Youngblood.
Right.
So if you got to select right now, it should be me and Youngblood. Because ain't nobody been fighting in that chamber for the last 2 years for Newark residents and the Central Ward, but me and Youngblood.
I,
And
I see you guys. I see you guys consistently.
right, the only two men can
Yeah.
because there's that you should the women in Newark. It's not just so when you see it's enabling. So when
Right.
all the men that's quiet, why are all these men quiet?
Why? Yeah. Why? Can you tell us why?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
What?
Vote. I need they vote.
Okay.
So if they want
Okay.
fighting, I don't care. Let
Right.
me fight for it. Just just come out, just get me in there, let me fight. If you ain't gonna say nothing, let me get in there and fight. Because
Wow.
they fighting them. Once upon a time, what we had on that council, we had the Donald Bradleys. You understand?
Right.
We had the Donald Tuckers. We had somebody up there was going to go against the administration. Who have you heard up there in the last 10 years going against that administration?
Nobody. They
No,
just bobbleheads. Like they vote on things, and then when the residents come to the podium and ask them why they voted the way they did, they don't even know what the heck they voted on.
they give you some old, they like that
They didn't
1.5.
even read anything, don't even know anything about what's going on. Then once in a blue, you'll get somebody that asks a question like, oh, well, what is this we're voting on? And it's like, you didn't read none of this before you came to the meeting. The agenda was set days before. So yeah, they're just bobbleheads. It's sad. It's sad.
We got to look at ourselves too, though. We got to get up. I anticipate a big turnout only because it's a general election.
Hmm.
There's going to be a big turnout. Only you see the early voting. I've had
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
they went in there early voting. I've never seen like Norcas like this on early voting. So that
It's good.
that governor's race is like people on it. So we
Yeah.
coming out. Whether they look at the Central Ward when they go in there and vote for the governor, you know
Uh-huh.
that's what we're going to see on November 4th.
Okay.
And I anticipate the people really coming out. I really anticipate them coming out because I feel the energy out there. People are really dissatisfied,
They
and
are. Yeah. Yeah. I'm one of them.
I believe that my advocacy has shown them that they can be empowered. And the only way I empowered those residents, I edified them. I taught them the law.
Wow.
Once they understood the law and who they are, they're the listen in the
That's
agreement.
what Dr. King was about. Learning the law and using that to your advantage.
Absolutely.
That's how he got the Civil Rights Act passed. Yep.
I'm old school.
Edification. He called
I'm,
it the edification.
like I told you, I'm old school.
Yep. And
Yeah.
somebody asked, what will you do to address jobs in your ward if elected?
She must have has not been watching this live because I'm shutting it down.
I heard about the Newark Works.
Right. So, uh, listen, it's not just the construction jobs. I told you it's the land sales, it's the grants and loans, all of
Mm-hmm.
the things. Those are all benefits for the developers.
Right.
So, shutting down our government, shutting it down means shutting down our money, giving money to them until we get what we get in our community. So there's going to be a process of a shutdown where there's a
Okay.
negotiation between us and the municipal council and the administration. They're going to have to do something.
Wow.
We,
Now, what about residents or people that's afraid to come out? Because I know a lot of times when I've been a part of groups and we're trying to stop something, people are like, yeah, we don't want this. We're going to show up. And they don't show up because they're afraid of the retaliation. How do you ensure people to go forward to fight for their rights without being afraid of retaliation?
if you're afraid, stay home.
Okay.
Right? We don't. You remember
Okay.
Harriet Tubman?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm with it because I know people, they'll tell me or they'll call me and they'll even say, "Oh, I'm scared. I don't want nobody coming after me." And I understand to an extent when you have to feed your family, but you're willing to support um but in a way that doesn't put you in harm. You know what I'm saying? Like for an example, I wouldn't ask that person to come out and come to a protest if they feel like they would lose their job because I don't have another job to give them. So people like that, how do you keep their support and without, because they may support you, they may go and vote for you silently, but they just can't come out and stand there with the signs with you. How do you deal with people like that?
I only deal with the people who come out with me.
Okay. All right. So basically, no work, no bread,
So I
unless you're a senior.
I look at um, one of the youngest revolutionaries is like one of my inspirations. That's Fred Hampton.
Okay.
If you can sacrifice your life, he only on this earth 21 years.
Yeah, they murdered him. He was
We
murdered while he
we
was asleep.
know what that young man did from the time when the most powerful time of his life was when he was from 16 to 21. If he made that kind of sacrifice, him and others, Asada Shakur, all of these revolutionaries that made sacrifices for us. We can't, in our day, in 2025, be children of fear when we come from warriors.
Oh, so you would give this sound like a motivational talk. You would give that talk to them?
Absolutely.
Wow, because you made me feel motivated just now.
That's
And I
peace.
can't I can't even vote for you though because I live in a West Ward.
Okay. It's okay.
But
Gave me the
you
clap.
you almost got my vote. That whole segment right there that you did, you threw that line out, pulled me right in. You started mentioning certain people I like and whose ideology, I believe was firm and solid.
Right. They was a
Wow.
fighters, and that's why I love you. I love and it's the youth. Ain't no 62-year-olds led no revolutions. But look, if I got to do it, God, he brought me back to fight, so I'm fighting. I'm here.
Yeah.
Get me some young warriors ready to fight
Yep.
and
He
edify them.
brought you back the mentor.
Yeah, get them ready. Get them ready.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me see. We have Will says we have a government shutdown in Washington, D.C. Now everyone is affected. No snap. The government workers are not getting paid. Everyone is affected. Okay. So what do you think about that? Like, how would you protect residents from this shutdown that's happening right now? Or is there any protection?
We
If you were the Central Ward, well, the Central Ward has no council person right now, right?
absolutely have none. Have no
Oh,
count.
wow.
So the one interesting thing is, when myself or Jamal Youngblood is elected, one of us, I want to know what that staffs, because they still got MacGyver staffs. They've been eating since she been gone.
Oh, wow.
So that Central was
Wow.
down to City Hall getting paid.
For what? Are they not addressing the needs because you guys are out there doing the work?
Absolutely. So that's another question that you need to ask the government.
Oh,
You hear the advocates bringing up all the time. Really take notes. Lisa Parker, Felicia, Donna Jackson,
yeah.
spitting truth.
Yeah.
Every delivery is different, you know, and they can't be mad at the women. Them are warriors. They supposed to be highly emotional. Those are the mothers of creation. They supposed to be highly emotional. So
Right,
don't,
because things aren't right.
absolutely. And the men ain't out there with them.
Yeah, I've been out there with them, and it's just all us ladies.
Yeah. So like that.
Yeah, it's wild. Emily said lies. The Central Ward has the at larges, and then she said, "LOL," joking. Now, what are the at larges doing for the Central Ward?
That's, you see, Roundtree have been coming down there just telling a whole bunch of lies. And every time
Mm.
I call her liar, she gonna tell me, don't call her liar. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. But you keep telling me that things are fixed up there,
But they're
Councilwoman.
not.
Right. I gotta go get more residents to come down, to let you for to, they know it though. The crazy part was when I brought those residents down at the last meeting, the
Right.
their manager for that building was sitting in the audience.
Wow. Why was he trying to intimidate them or?
They had the audacity. I'm not going to repeat which one said it, but told me next time you bring residents down to make sure everybody got their rent paid. I said rent has nothing to do with the conditions that these people are living in. Why would they pay their
Wow.
with rats coming through holes and elevators not working? Like they so defensive to these developers. Like we always
Wow.
show that they giving us some mercy. Like how are they giving us?
Right. 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 Wow. Oh, Felicia says call Roundtree the alternate fact teller. Okay.
She you
Wow.
don't know them. All this legislation I'm talking about, the only ones that understand what I'm talking about up there are those lawyers. And that's
Oh.
why they're silent. Because
Oh.
Trump is a lawyer, the BA is a lawyer. They never respond. They always send the ones who ain't gonna get in no trouble. Let them
Mm.
let Rockman say something. He ain't no legal. He can say so. So if I correct him, it ain't gonna look as bad. But they're the ones that
Right.
telling nonsense. They're telling them to come up there and say that. Just go up there and say this, and okay, I'm gonna come back with the proof again. But
Wow.
they drag me out I only get 5 minutes and 3 minutes. Then they come up there and they talk about me for 30 minutes and, and say what I'm not. Monica McIver did a whole thing. I posted it. She said that these laws are not in play anymore. Go look at that video that I posted with
They're
her.
not in play. So what are they're not
Look
obsolete.
before she
Just
sat down to Congress. This is who we sat down to Congress. She said, Mr. Tillman, these laws are not even playing. They may have been in play back then when you was a kid. Laws don't change like that. They don't.
right. You gotta do amendments. Like, and she's in what? Oh wow,
Yeah,
DC.
yes.
And she doesn't know about legislation.
So these are all people that are being planted in different places that more corruption that's affecting our community, our education system, our housing, every facet is being put these cronies, and we're
Wow.
just allowing it, and and I just don't understand it to the degree that
Wow.
that you don't keep fighting. This ain't gonna determine whether I'm not gonna keep coming to that council meeting or not. I'm coming, whether you come or not. You're gonna see George Tillman Jr. I'm gonna keep getting it done, but we're gonna get done from the other side. You're gonna see the difference.
Wow.
You're gonna see you, everyone. I more than like I promise you, once I become elected, come 2026, they won't vote anybody in up there
Wow.
because they'll see everything that they wasn't doing for the community.
Wow. The
And,
house of cards will
and
come
glad,
crumbling.
glad you only got. I only need 8 months. I'm gonna show it all. Are you gonna see it all? Because now they can't. They can't silence me. All the
Right.
documentation, I can bring it forth and discuss it before the council. I can call for the special conference.
Oh wow.
I can bring Deputy
Wow.
Muhammad up there and question him. I can bring Newark Works up there and question him. I can demand those statistics and everything that the brother Youngblood is talking about because it's
Mm-hmm. Right.
but they won't do it. They're not doing it. Every time I ask for it, they just sign anything next. Oh, let's
But
adjourn.
they get paid. That's the crazy thing. Wow. So they get paid to continue to make our lives just
What it is.
low quality.
But
Low quality and substandard. Wow.
we got it. I feel this. I feel it's changed. I feel like people like we've reached the precipice.
Uh-huh.
Ain't nowhere else to go in that corner. Either we're gonna die in that corner or we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
fight coming out of that corner. Because they ain't trying
Right.
out. You see, they are not trying to let us out of there. They're building more homeless shelters. They everything that's social service, they're rendering it because that's what
Mm.
this class to be. They want there to be a class, a rich and a poor. That's what Newark is coming to. That's the
Yeah. 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 I see it. I see it for sure. Yeah, it's sad. Will Hathaway says if a vote was to come before the council to vote for affordable housing and a community benefit that helps your ward if you are elected. Okay, I thought that was a question. And Emily Aiken says, and we want our money back. I want a refund on my tax dollars. I want a
I
refund
don't
for this
understand why
whole administration.
they I don't understand how we allowing that those developers owe the city over $50 million,
Wow.
but they still giving them more money. Every time you give them a tax abatement, that's giving them more money towards the develop. They're getting money from those tax abatements. Off of the
Hmm.
credit is the Newark resident. Without the Newark resident, they can't even get the tax abatement is based on us. We're the third entity.
Right.
It's we're the agreement.
No community benefit. Not a park. They didn't. No park. No tree on the side of the sidewalk.
So all the money that
No
we
playground.
I,
Nothing.
Listen, I forgot the other. There's not only the labor is a portion of it, but 51% of the
Mm-hmm.
total construction dollars are supposed to
Mm-hmm.
go to minority contractors in Newark.
Okay. I remember Munira El Bomani coming and she
Right.
spoke about that.
Absolutely. That's a lot of money that we're not.
Wow.
You can't substitute that money not coming into our development. So when we don't stop these all, not just the tax abate, all the economic incentives, we have,
Wow.
when the economic incentives are nothing more than our government giving them money
Wow.
based
Wow.
them based on them doing for the Newark residents. That's the only reason why they give them the money.
They're not doing anything for the Newark residents. Emily said no movie tickets, nothing. And she said it's the Envy Lounge in the Central Ward.
The Envy Lounge.
It's on Sussex and I believe is that New Street? Not New Street, Norfolk.
So Suffolk and
No,
Norfolk,
Central. Central is a Central Ave in Norfolk.
Central and Norfolk.
Yeah, it's where it's right
That,
by.
that's Central.
Yeah, it's by New Hope One Village, that first homeless shelter site that they built and did the big press conference about, and now they're shutting it down because they sold the land to a developer. So I'm like, they didn't solve the homelessness problem, but
It's all a gimmick.
yeah,
All a,
yeah.
about, it's about
It really is.
listen, they made a mockery of all those dollars. That homeless money was sent up here by for Donald Payne. Rest in peace.
Mm,
All that money, he the one who sent that wave of money up here. All this money came up through Donald Payne.
wow.
All of this money, this whole wave of homeless money came up here through Donald Payne. You can check it. But
Wow.
for this, the way it was misused, the way our leadership has misused it, is shameful.
Mm,
They let anybody open up a shelter and gave it to them based on some of them just people, they friends. So
wow.
people have no understanding of social services. You can't just open up a homeless shelter and not understand how to provide the services and everything that's needed for that
That's
home.
very true. So is that's what's happening with the homeless population? Because yeah, they said they were in a shelter. Then all of a sudden the shelter told them they had to leave and I'm like, what? Like no transition out into your own apartment or they were like no. So I'm like, so they transition you back into the street? And they're like, yeah. So I'm like, what's the point?
So a lot of a large population suffer from substance abuse and mental illness.
Okay.
And because there's not enough services attached to the homelessness programs,
Okay.
it's like a recidivism setup. You know, it's like
Okay.
you want that cycle.
Oh, it keeps the money coming in.
Yes,
If they continue to be homeless, money continues to pour in.
right.
Wow, but it never trickles down.
Never trickles down because the one component that they never add to the social services is the aftercare. What do you do after you done put a person in a drug treatment program for 6 months and they're clean? They just
I
let them,
have no idea.
they just let them out. There's no aftercare. There is no
Oh,
monitoring.
wow. So that's why they relapse. Oh, so they're not going to therapy groups or anything after that? Wow.
They don't. They've not attached the necessary services to the homeless program. I'm telling you, what Donald Payne sent here, they destroyed it. This is
Wow.
should have cleaned up. It should have put together a system that would help the that large population of homeless people that's dealing with mental illness and substance abuse get it,
Hmm.
like reentry from the reentry program from prison.
Right.
Entry is set up for people who have been taken out of our society for some reason and introducing them back and making sure they get back in a good way, right? And be productive.
Right.
They don't
Right.
the substance abuse and the mental ill.
Wow.
They just do the services for 6 months, shoot them up with the drugs, put them on the medication, and then
Wow.
that it's just they don't if they
So
they
they
didn't
know they're gonna be right back. Like Emily said, they're recycling them. So yeah, wow. Oh wow.
understand you have to anybody who's going to be a leader right now, even the ones that's running in 2026, please do your homework. Get someone that understands our government processes, the systemic parts.
Right.
Can't fix a system unless you understand how it works.
I agree with you with that one. I agree.
And so that's where people the edification comes in.
Okay. All right.
Understanding our fees, who's responsible, how these agencies are entwined in our government, all of that. And as Brother Youngblood says, there should be data.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that they never
So
collected on Newark Works.
to show the success in all of the homelessness,
Right.
all of the jobs, all of the housing projects, all of this stuff. That's what the Affirmative Action Review Council is supposed to be doing because when an application comes across, it's supposed to go to that review council.
Okay.
Those residents have had a complaint on file, went in that folder, seen all the complaints those residents said, application denied. It would have never got up to the tax abatement committee.
Okay.
And so I'm telling you that whoever they put on that affirmative action review council, they got to be a dog, just like George Tillman doing. Everybody got to be a dog.
Okay.
They got to watch. They if they tell they made Rockman the chairman.
Wow.
How much? How much? How much?
He's not gonna be a dog.
He been fighting the dog. He been fighting the dog. So they made.
Wow.
But you know what? I respect that. Understand this. I respect a lot of things they do because this is chess. So when I see them do things, and you know, you know, I don't. Unlike some they get upset, but they don't. It's like if you've been around and it's long enough, you gotta okay. Now what do you do to counter that? It's like chess. If
Okay. Okay.
you move, then the people are stuck.
Right.
So that's why
Okay.
I understand the whole systemic part of and the players.
Oh yeah, the players are important. Yeah. I done seen people get picked off because they didn't know who the players were.
Yeah. I just
But
want to shout out one thing. We want to give big shout out to Sheila Montague.
okay. Okay.
You have been going hard for George Tillman throughout this campaign. I'm telling you, ain't nobody else been doing it like I love her because she when I tell you they didn't assassinated that sister several times, and that's why she get my full support. Y'all don't understand how she fights, and they done beat her down, but she's still fighting, still fighting.
Right.
They done took 5 jobs from this, shot up her house, all kinds of stuff,
Wow.
and she's still coming fighting for Newark.
Ah, man.
So big shout out to her. I hope she went for mayor because she's that's listen. They don't see what they don't want is people that's really gonna shut it down till we get it right.
Right.
Don't you know? Shutting it down means stopping that money going to anybody else before it come to us.
I like that. I like it. Shut it down. Shut it down. Oh, Felicia said they took her car too. I think they towed it, right? Yeah. Wow.
They don't
Um,
play fair.
yeah, they don't. They don't. So, are there any last words you want to tell our Central Ward audience members, or relatives of Central Ward um
I want to tell
residents?
all the city of Newark, because my fight ain't just been about the Central Ward.
Okay.
Remember this policy that I'm fighting for, the Newark resident employment policy. That's citywide. You should be calling
Okay.
your council person in your ward the same thing. You want that enforced. This enforcement is important.
Well, my councilman is the reason why I'm banned. So I don't know if he's gonna pick up the phone. When I
So
tried to call him, he didn't want to meet.
I spoke to a gentleman regarding when you said that. I spoke to someone about it. They said it told me they want to handle that for you. They want to get involved and take. They said um, they can.
Okay.
So offline, I'll connect you with that person because they told me they want to help you with that and get that resolved.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So my last words is November the 4th, 3F, George Tillman Jr. Let's get it done. That's it. Let's get it done.
Oh, I like that. Is that your campaign line? Let's get it done.
My campaign, war on poverty. You know, this a war,
It's always been that.
but people ain't kept the war going. If the men ain't fighting, it ain't no war. Who's fighting? The women and the babies. I had my daughter out there. Have you seen my daughter?
Wow.
Seen my 16 and 17-year-old daughter coming to that microphone? The babies are fighting.
Wow.
The women,
Wow.
the women and the babies are fighting.
Wow. 3F, right? 3F,
Yeah.
November 4th.
George Tillman Jr., the
All
voice of.
right. Thank you for coming on too. I appreciate you responding, getting back to me really quickly.
But I kept telling you.
You couldn't wait. You couldn't wait. I couldn't wait either. This
Yeah,
this was fun. I'm glad you came on. And I will be meeting you in person soon because I'll be back out there, but I'm
that's,
handling some things behind the scenes.
yeah.
And but I love the fact that you and Young Blood are present and on the scene, and you're trying to make things right for this for everybody, like true leadership.
Trying, we making it right. We ain't
Oh,
trying.
okay.
We don't try. I never try anything.
I
I
like that.
do it.
I like that. I believe you too. Dang, I need you to be my motivation coach.
For real.
You motivating me, like the way you say your words, and
Peace. That's peace. That's God. That's peace.
I'm like, dang, I need to get out there tomorrow.
Let's
Front of City Hall with a bullhorn, like, we
go.
the people.
Go. Let's go.
Look, Felicia felt it too. Felicia said, I believe him too. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tillman Jr., for coming on. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. And I want to echo what you said too about people doing their research first. That's very, very important. Very important. Especially learning how, City Hall works in Newark, how Newark politics works, period. It's not easy. You're not gonna just slide in. It's gonna be a fight, and it's gonna be ongoing.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So
Get it.
thank you again.
Yeah. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
I
And
appreciate that. You're welcome.
this was a pleasure and an honor. I've been waiting for you to call me too.
Really? Oh, wow. So you knew it was coming. All right.
I was waiting.
See?
Can't wait. I was waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, should I do this? Should I not? Should I? Because you know what? I didn't know how it was going to go with different candidates. And I didn't want to do a panel with everybody on. I wanted everybody to have their own
Good.
individual
Yeah.
time. So I reached out to all of y'all. And you know what? All the candidates, I'm glad I waited too, because some people dropped out. And that just would have been a waste of time for them to get a solo for
Right.
my audience that live
Right.
in the Central Ward and they're not even running.
Right.
So yeah, so I reached out to the four candidates in the race, and people got back to me, and I was like, all right, let's
So
do it. So yes, no clashes, and I didn't want people to feel, oh, you're giving special treatment to this one or that one. No, everybody was reached out the same way in the wee hours of the morning.
I'm up. You see,
Six
I'm up.
up, right, right.
Up.
I was like, I was like, oh, somebody up with me.
I'm up. I ain't
So
slept. I've been 7 days a week. What this campaign? I need. I can't wait till November 5th. So I'm gonna put my feet in some water, and they got some mileage. I'm telling you.
I know that's right. I know. I remember. I remember when I did some
What?
campaigning.
Like
Yeah.
miles a week.
Wow.
Walk
Wow.
at least. This been going on for like months. Like 10 miles a week
Wow. That's that work.
at work.
And we appreciate you for that.
So you have a beautiful night. You be blessed. I'm gonna be in contact with you. You know,
Oh yes.
campaign, because I'm let my people, because they was like, what? I said, yeah. So and they gon' I can't wait to have you back down there.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. All right.
All right. Bye-bye. Take care. All right, people. This has been Current Exposure. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for joining this evening. Peace, and I'm out. Let's play that outro.